Today's episode of the Cantina is brought to you by Grow Generation. Whether you're at the Death Star or the Senate, they have everything you need to grow right where you are. More from them later in the episode.
Welcome to a galaxy far, far away. Here at the Cantina Podcast, we provide top shelf service, including rumors, leaks, news, and reviews. Come in, order a Loman Ale, and remember, no droids allowed. Hey guys, welcome back to the Cantina. You guys heard the wonderful full intro, so I won't mess with all that stuff again. But my name is Kyle Malone. I'm joined as usual by Cam Clark, and we're here to talk about Star Wars stuff on the GenreVerse Podcast Network, wherever you get your podcast from, and the GenreVerse YouTube channel. So follow, subscribe, leave some feedback. Thanks for joining us. Glasses or blue filter. I've been dealing with some nausea all day. Hopefully I'll be able to take them off a little bit later. But Cam, how's it going, bud?
Good. Yeah.
Kind of a lull in Star Wars news this week. Not a whole lot
Given
going
what's
on.
happened, there was, I guess we're in the post Boba Fett era, if you like, pre Obi-Wan Kenobi, pre Bad Batch. So Lucasfilm are keeping things pretty close to their chest. We did get a kind of bash of rumours, which we were involved in as well, on like the last couple of weeks behind Boba. But this week there's been almost nothing, almost no Star Wars news that we've been covering. Just one thing, really.
Yeah, it's kind of weird when that happens, but almost sometimes. Not for the business sense, like running the site and the podcasts and stuff, but the personal side, like slow news, is kind of like you breathe a sigh of relief. Maybe enjoy a TV show instead of working a TV show. But I think you're right. It's really that kind of lull in between shows. We know that Disney put a big clamp on PR, or not PR, but advertising. They put a big clamp on leaks for a while, and then all of a sudden, just all sorts of shit broke loose about Kenobi.
Yeah.
But I honestly, when you look at a lot of the like financial issues, you look at a lot of the production issues, you look at the parks, like the big picture stuff. I'm not talking like nitty gritty. I'm big picture stuff. You start realizing that there might be a lot in motion over there. You know what I'm saying? There might not be a lot to report on, because a lot of stuff might be, like I said, kind of like in motion. We don't quite know everything, and things can pop up and get taken down and
and the
changed.
other side of it is that Lucasfilm don't really need to spend too much money in marketing for the Disney Plus stuff. That's been proved to them. If they slap the Star Wars name on it, they'll kind of get the viewers. They'll get people at least checking out to see if they're interested. Obviously, Star Wars and Star Wars shows being one of the main attraction of a Disney Plus subscription, along with Marvel and a few other things. So, I mean, if we look at the marketing for Mando Season 2, and then, Book of Boba Fett, it all didn't really kick off till just right before the show happened. And even then, they were kind of, you always felt like things were being held back. And that was very much true for Mando Season 2 and Boba Fett, where we didn't see much, even in the trailers beforehand. And it was just kind of, right, we're going to let this carry in word of mouth. And that worked really well for Mando and Mando Season 2. Boba Fett was a bit, when it comes to word of mouth, up and down roller coaster, if you like.
They had some stuff in November, I think was the first trailer, right?
Yeah.
The Disney Plus Day. But
there was enough, because of the weekly release schedule, there's enough content midway through a season that it'll bring people in, So when all the shit happened in episode sort of 5 and 6, for example, and Boba Fett, it was just all over the place, websites covering it, fan forums talking about it, social media, blah, blah, blah. And if there was people that were maybe on the fence about, I don't fancy this Boba Fett show, that was basically Disney's promotion right there, as people going daft about all these crazy things. And there's certainly people I knew that weren't too fussed about Boba Fett, and then when all that kicked off, they're like, okay, I'm going to watch this now. Given that the next one is Obi-Wan Kenobi, and probably the one they need to market the least because of just the hype and anticipation about it.
I don't expect a trailer before May 4th. Like, I honestly think that'll be it.
Yeah. I mean,
think that'll be it.
Maybe a teaser trailer before then, but
maybe.
But we're talking teaser.
Like 30 seconds, mostly landscapes.
Just some music.
And maybe a flashback voiceover of when I left you, I was but the
something
learner.
Like that,
Now I am the man. Something like that.
That's the kind of thing I'm expecting. Something to build the hype without giving away anything, and then a proper trailer to kind of kick in around about, I would say, kind of like May the 4th, given that we know Obi-Wan comes out on the 25th and then Star Wars Celebration kicks off 26 and 27. They can maybe promote a little bit more at Star Wars Celebration, but they need something out there before then. But yeah, a couple of weeks before then is absolutely fine when it comes to Disney Plus. You can subscribe to Disney Plus in 2 seconds, just picking up your phone and pressing a few buttons. You don't have to go out and buy tickets.
I don't want to get too far into the weeds with Kenobi, but there is quite a bit rumor stuff that had kind of gotten out there, and one of the big conversations after the poster was released was, we're back on Tatooine again. I wonder, given some of the stuff that we've heard, given what I hope is some reverence for the canon, the established movie canon. I don't know if we're going to spend as much time. I think there might still be a lot, but I don't know if we're going to spend as much time on Tatooine as we did for Book of Boba Fett. I really hope not, especially for the story and canon's sake. Not that many people can know about shit going on Tatooine. Yeah, it really fucks with it.
I mean, not that we know the story, because we don't, but
nope.
From there's a few things that we've heard, but what we have had is some sort of insider leaks recently from, I think, MSW, Star Wars Newsnet, Best Bin Bulletin, and there's a kind of picture being built up of what I would say seems like a MacGuffin type situation, right? Mm-hmm. And it seems as if Princess Leia is that MacGuffin, and that the show could. I mean, again, we know there's a Leia in it. We know that.
She's been cast. That was 10,
some
11
of the other
outlets
old. Have been, given a bit more details that she's been held prisoner, and that Obi-Wan is basically commissioned to go and rescue her. And that would indicate to me that the majority of the show might be therefore set off of Tatooine. Mm-hmm. I mean, certainly, according to those rumors from MSW, the prison's on another planet, and they called it like the Reno of Star Wars. It's a bit dilapidated. I've never been to Reno in my life, so I don't know if that accurately reflects the place, but maybe there'd be a different town if you were English in terms of describing that. I don't know, but
my whole concern deals with messing with a New Hope's canon. I know Pablo, the canon's whatever it needs to be. Hidalgo and others are like, I don't give a fuck. We just want individual stories, but you start messing with the just ignore. No, you can't just ignore it once you see it. Like I have a lot of fear about messing with this time period and certain names. One of those being Leia. Because of the influence it could have on the events of A New Hope. Already, people are divided on the whole. I mentioned line earlier. When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master. We all thought, and if you read the novelization of Star Wars, A New Hope, that refers to Mustafar, and yet we're being told they met met at least twice more.
Yeah,
you know, once with a scrape and one more for a big fight. You can work it.
Kind of rubbed me up the wrong way, but I'm kind of. There's a lot of fans that are getting really hung up on this one and saying, like, you know, it absolutely cannot work. This breaks the canon, and we that's not true, because the way
you can make it.
You can make it work and still fit that.
But did it need?
But need isn't, you know. So, you know, by that argument, well, we don't need anything. Let's just stop making Star Wars.
No, I mean,
finished.
Was it needed for this story? That's it. I'm not saying we don't need an Obi-Wan Kenobi show at all.
You need
those two elements
to get, because you can't.
Exactly.
You know, listen, you can't have Vader versus Obi. You can't have Vader on Tatooine. You know that.
No,
would
exactly.
break the canon, right?
Yes.
If Vader thinks that Obi-Wan's in Tatooine, goodbye.
Because he'd be like, "Why are you on Tatooine of all fucking places?"
It would be a rolling rope that would gather mobs.
Yeah.
So they need a good reason to get Obi-Wan off planet for me to do what they want to do in the show. And to be honest, Leia's kind of the only one that makes sense, because what else would get Obi-Wan to leave what he's doing and go chasing across the galaxy and putting himself at risk, you know, and potentially leaving Luke without a protector as well.
Well, it can tie into, they touch on Bail, which we learned, most assumed, but we learned more officially that Smits, right? Last name was Smits. Yeah. Is returning for Bail Organa, but
well, it's not official, but it's been rumored.
Like I said, more official than us just thinking. You know, we assumed long time ago that it made sense for him to be in it, but
Indeed.
They make a loose connection with him and Obi-Wan in the prequel trilogy. They make him seem like it went further because of, I'm guessing, stuff in the Clone Wars in Rogue One, where he's like, there's someone that when he's talking about his daughter Leia, her having trust. I think that's where that wiggle room is. Obi-Wan helps rescue Leia. That's why Bail says, I trust you. I trust, because
given the Obi-Wan set before Rogue One, I mean, that actually makes more sense to me doing it this way. This is a thing. I think potentially it could make more sense than what Obi-Wan just staying on Tatooine for 20 years could, because kind of like the way Revenge of the Sith ends, it all seems to neatly wrap up, but when you really start thinking about it, it doesn't really work that well, Yeah,
that's a long time to sit out, Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude?
And then suddenly, 20 years later, Bail would send Leia with these Death Star plans to Obi-Wan, and you just wonder if that really did make sense, and actually having something in between that kind of smooths that over a little bit and makes it make more sense and connect better between the two trilogies, if you like, is, I think, a good thing. If
it can be.
If they pull it off.
If they pull it off.
Of course.
Yeah, it's just like No Way Home. I had lots of
100%.
concern.
Yep. Yeah, me too.
And when it hit, I was able to say, yeah, guys, it landed. They stuck it. There's still things I think that I would have done. Yeah, but they landed
risks, and they kind of teetered on the edge a couple of times, but they towed the line, and they kept it a good movie. And that's kind of, I guess, what we're looking for from Obi-Wan Kenobi. We want it to be spectacular. We want to see some crazy shit. We want to see some new dialogue between Vader and Obi-Wan, but we just want to make sure they don't go, wouldn't it just be cool if that won't fit, but it's too good to leave out. That's where the risk is. You have to make it fit. But given the amount of time they spent on the script, for this, then we would hope that they've kind of got all their eggs in a basket, if you like.
Last kind of comment on Obi-Wan Kenobi. Do you think if it has and this is not me projecting, just a legit curiosity, do you think if it has a lukewarm reception, like something's off about it, pacing, editing, whatever, if there was a lukewarm reaction to this, do you think that affects, similar to what Boba Fett had, do you think that affects future projects? Do you think that tells them, hey, maybe we shouldn't touch so much on the past characters and we should use more deep cuts and future stuff?
I think that would just tell them that they made some mistakes in whatever they did for that show, to be honest, because if we look at what they've done so far, they're generally getting a warm reception. And Boba Fett was a little bit lukewarm, but the Mando stuff was well. And that's
what I meant by like new characters, new
they
stories.
Did the best Star Wars in 40 minutes. So Boba Fett will always be remembered for episode 5 alone. Six. Episode 6. So
5 was good too. 5 was good too.
It was good as well, but it just wasn't as good as 6.
Yeah.
And they know what the fans kind of want, what they respond to. Obviously, that it's too late to put any of that into Obi-Wan Kenobi, so you just have to hope they've done a good job. I think more worrying, not necessarily more worrying, is that it's so big and the fans love it so much that, Disney start going, what if we do it again? What if we do it again? Let's do there's more money to be made off this. Ewan, what are you up to next year? And it could go too far because, well, you have that uncanny valley between McGregor going
taking everything too far,
Alec Guinness as well,
mm-hmm.
where you just want that 10-year gap, and to just imagine that he really aged badly after what happened to him with Vader and the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, and that kind of thing, because Alec Guinness is way, way older than the Obi-Wan Kenobi would be based on who they cast for the prequels. They got the ages very much wrong on that.
Yeah. Anyways, everyone out there, let us know if you have any concerns about Obi-Wan Kenobi story wise. We're not talking about anything outside of that. We're all excited to see it. Hopefully, it knocks it out of the park. And I guess we'll take a quick word from our sponsors over at Grow Generation. Come back and talk a little bit about the High Republic. Grow Generation, where the pros go to grow. Grow Generation offers the best deals and discounts on the best grow products on the market. Grow Generation serves customers across the nation and carries a wide inventory of renowned cultivation brands. Go to www.growgeneration.com, where the pros go to grow. And I think I did it on track this time. And I meant switching with the ad. Thank you, Grow Generation, for sponsoring the video. Jon Watts. Everyone knows the guy's name these days because of his work on the MCU's Spider-Man trilogy, the No Way Home, Far From Home, and Homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
I just did that in reverse order.
but
he's also been tapped to do the Fantastic Four movie, which some assumes means a young Fantastic Four. I'm wondering if we're going to get kind of what I wanted to a degree, which is an established Fantastic Four that lived out of time in another dimension, whatever the case may be. But maybe is it Valeria? I think that's the daughter and the son.
I know the son's Franklin.
Franklin, and I can't remember the daughter's name, but I'm wondering if we might even get that and potentially like a power pack TV series or something.
Young Avengers thing that they're doing as well. Seem to be sowing the seeds of at some point. It's possible. I kind of don't want a young Fantastic Four.
Neither do I. Do I.
The most recent attempt to do it.
Josh Tranks. That was awful.
I don't really feel that. Especially, I don't kind of mind Johnny being younger, but he still has to be adult.
I
think Reed and Sue need to be a little older if they're going to get married and have kids and that,
I imagine
want them, a big sister.
35-ish Sue, a 38, 39-ish Reed.
That's what I
like a 31, 30 Johnny.
I'd even take 20s. I'd even take 20s for Johnny, because you can have that kind of gap.
Oh yeah,
him and
you can have 10, 15
you know,
years
and she's
between
very much
siblings.
the mother figure. So Sue's 100% the most mature of the four people in the Fantastic Four, and Johnny's 100% the most immature of the Fantastic Four. So you can have
Ben
a gap
somewhere in the middle. He's got to be close to Reed. Yeah, he's got to be a year or two within Reed.
Ben's just like one of those working type guys, you know. He's like the kind of guy you'd bump into in a building site or something. I've got a lot of friends like that, you know, and not geeks like us, you know. They just want to eat meat and potatoes, drink beer, and watch football games in the telly. And I think Ben's kind of like that in some ways, but he's thrust into this situation, you know, where he's a big, strong rock monster type thing that can help people out. And he doesn't want to be like that, you know. I always got the hat that the Fantastic Four was in Ben, you know.
It definitely can be, and he's got his what he feels are his responsibilities and his loyalties to the Richards and stuff. So,
and yet at the same time, you know, Reed feels guilty.
Yes,
you know, and wants to. Anyway, this is a Star Wars.
Yeah,
show.
This is Star Wars. I was trying to, but you guys can tell we're hungry for Fantastic Four. But Jon Watts,
and the reason we're talking Jon Watts, yes, is because there's been a rumor discussing film. I put out a report saying that they have heard that Jon Watts is in talks to direct what we're calling the Star Wars High Republic show. If you don't know the backstory to this, there's an unnamed show shooting summer into winter in Manhattan Beach. We don't know a lot of information about this. We know that it'll have a young cast. We've seen casting calls for it. And we're pretty confident from our sources this is the High Republic show that we've been talking about for quite a while, and it will have a predominantly younger cast.
Which we talked about on last week's episode.
Is this just like, are we saying now that, and you just said the same thing, like, if Jon Watts is directing Fantastic Four, does that mean he's got a younger cast? Is that us just shoehorning, because he's made 3 movies of Peter Parker in his high school years, are we shoehorning Jon Watts to say, he's an expert at dealing with, but surely as a filmmaker, he'll be like, well, that's just what I was asked to do. Of course I can direct adults. You know,
he did a fine job with the grown-ups in No Way Home and the other movies as well. But you do got to admit that he managed to better capture the common human teenage experience in his 3 Spider-Man films than Webb or Raimi did. And I don't even think Webb or Raimi really tried to.
Peter was older.
Exactly.
You know, in the Raimi movies, and he was just moving into college in the Webb movies. So they were slightly different. But yeah,
he was also freshman year of college, which is still 18, 19 years old, which isn't youth, but it is younger. And I don't always think that Watts has to be working with like 15-year-olds, but
it won't be, because they're always 20 in real life. But yeah,
it is difficult to get that. It's and the fact that he managed to do it with a, like I said, kind of like a universal, even though it was very much a Gen Z type kids issues, there was enough there that's common for everyone to deal with, which is something that I think a lot of storytellers miss out on these days, especially when there's like self-insertion and stuff. They forget about the human experience to appeal to the masses. So yeah, I think we shoehorn him in, but more than anything, isn't Hollywood the ones shoehorning him in? Like they give him the jobs, right? We're assuming we're assuming
they're offering him these really good contracts.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Record, I'm sure he's not going no, but
neither would I.
This is slightly different though, because from what we're hearing from the casting calls, they're looking for people cast about 11, 12 years old. That's a lot younger than the people he was dealing with. That's not teenage problems. That's kids.
That's youth.
And if, as is suspected, or I'm not suspecting this, but this is what the fans are speculating, that this is a group of Jedi Knights, Padawans, if you like, that will be in this show. that's different again, because it's, most 11, 12-year-olds wouldn't be like you would expect a Jedi Padawan who's been brought up their whole life in the Jedi Temple to be at sort of 10 or 11, 12 years old, are they? You wouldn't think that. It's interesting. I just don't know what where they're going with all this, and it's going to be interesting to see. On kind of first thoughts, you kind of think, oh, maybe this just isn't for you and me, the older Star Wars fan. But at the same time, that's not to say we wouldn't love it when it comes out, because, it doesn't matter. You're probably the same. It could star kids, and it's a good story, and it's a good show. We'll watch it.
No issue
we'll
with
enjoy
kids.
it. So, but, you kind of just get that thing in the back of your head that it'll be aimed too low, because that's what people usually do. If you target something at kids, I think a lot of the time what you say is, we'll dumb it down. And that's not what kids actually want. It's not.
No.
You look at some of the high-class cartoons that kids love, with the quality writing and the good adult humour in it that everybody in the family can appreciate as well. And yeah, you shouldn't do that, but people will always do that in Hollywood.
Yeah, and it happens a lot in Western cartoons. A lot.
Jon Watts he's in talks, so it's not as if they've said he's signed on to direct this.
Yeah.
Plus, we don't know, is this like direct 1 or 2 episodes, or is this direct a full series? I mean, that's not known at this point either. So
could he be brought on additionally in a producer showrunner aspect as like what all will happen with it? Yeah,
but
it is interesting.
In summer, they're going to have to get the ball moving on it soon enough. And they're not going to be able to hide what it is forever. So they might as well kind of get up front with a name for it and a logo for it at some point, I would say.
Yeah. My biggest concern is like you kind of pointed out, it not being aimed at us. That doesn't mean that I won't give it a chance. It doesn't mean that I don't hope that it appeals. But I've complained before that there seems to be this idea that anything that you do that's not Mando or Skywalker saga related, that you should aim it, not just make it where 10-year-olds can enjoy it, but you aim it at 10-year-olds and you aim it at Western 10-year-old style, like the common style, which, like you said, I don't necessarily think all kids. I think if they could get access to more high-end stuff, like higher, more quality things, I think a lot of what Western kids would consume better written stories than you get in a lot of stuff.
Look at the films that became part of our pop culture when we were kids. They weren't necessarily aimed at kids whatsoever. Some of them may have been. My thing's moving.
Yeah, you kicked it.
They weren't aimed at kids, but we loved them anyway, and they
They're
became
all
part of
ages.
that youth culture.
Yeah. We'll see.
That What's the Goonies is aimed at kids and works.
It works.
Future's kind of aimed at kids, and it
works.
So
Back to the Future's a teen movie. 100%. That is a teen movie.
It's not aimed at kids. It's
not
just
for kids at all.
It's not aimed at kids.
Loved it as a kid.
But loved it. Rambo's not aimed at kids. Me and all my pals loved Rambo when we were young.
Oh, they had Rambo action figures.
yeah. I mean, come on.
So it could be good. Let's hope it's good. Jon Watts seems like a competent person, both with adults and kids. It does make sense that he's got some work with appealing to young stories, so that makes sense. And whatever shakes loose, I'm always hoping it's good. Even if I'm against the idea, I hope that I'm wrong and that it turns out good.
Yeah.
So, excuse me, that comes with maturity, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm surprised of it.
I know, right? Maturity and Kyle, that's such a non-existent thing. Anyways, any other thoughts on Watts and the High Republic?
I think we need
High
to wait and see. I'd say it's all just speculation at the moment. Connecting all the dots together, and until Lucasfilm kind of comes out, either until there's new information or Lucasfilm comes out and gives us some official stuff to put the jigsaw puzzle together, I think we're sitting with too many pieces missing. at the moment to be able to fill in the gaps for ourselves. We're just not hearing enough solid information. You know, I mean, we printed what our source told us about this basically verbatim. So that's as much information as we've got. They ain't saying too much at the moment about it.
It is smart that they put it on Disney Plus, because you remember the original rumor about something dealing with a prequel trilogy, so Higher or Old Republic, was a movie, and that it was potentially going to take place before or get released before Rogue Squadron.
I think that was wrong. I don't think it was ever a movie. What I think happened, and this is just again speculating, I think there was people knew there was a project coming, and this
made assumptions or whatever.
And then when Rogue Squadron get delayed, they assumed it was maybe going to be a fast-tracked movie, and it ended up being a Disney Plus series.
A series, which is fine.
Someone's actually phoning me at the moment. So
no!
I have to. I apologise.
That's all right.
I shouldn't have pressed the wrong button when I went to say don't answer the phone. What I did say instead was end this end this YouTube video and speak to someone who's trying to phone you instead, which I didn't mean to do.
That's all good. So I don't even remember what I was saying. So we both discussed back then that, you know, doing a straight movie for High Republic, no matter when it was going to come out, was iffy. Risk. And we both said you should do a series or movie on Disney.
That's
Plus.
how it generated interest. Because as we saw, like, if Boba Fett was a movie, you just don't know how it, I know it's too long to be a movie, but you just don't know how it would have went box office wise. If you're going to test stuff out, test it in Disney Plus, because you kind of don't get the same. If something doesn't work out, it's not a flop. You don't get flops on a streaming service. You know, maybe they internally can say nobody's watching this as much as they watched this one or that one, but it's all still building the kind of brand and bringing in subscribers. So it's a safer environment to experiment with in the movie theaters, especially now. Because if you don't get something that attracts people's attention in the movie theater, let's face it, they just don't go. They don't go.
Not just their attention, but good idea, bad idea. Not just their attention, but you got to make them want to see it. If they can wait, theaters, they will wait.
Yeah, if they think I can pass, I'll catch this when it hits, then you're in trouble, because people just won't go, and that's why No Way Home made so much money even during
people
pandemic,
to wait,
because people wanted to see what that shit was about. It had been hyped so much, and nobody wanted to wait and get spoiled, or you know. And it's coming to, what is it? Comes out in April, the
digital,
20th, I think it is, and digital. No, it's earlier. It's March and digital.
Yeah,
but I think it's April 20th on disc.
That is a lot. That's almost a regular theater run. Bravo. Thank you guys for helping your local theaters out. Now go do that for the Batman. Go do that for Sonic. Go do that for Doc Strange.
I'll buy the 4K of No Way Home, because it ain't on Disney Plus.
Yeah. And even if it was, I'm still going to buy it, because I want them to make another one. So
I feel like I'd be kind of wasting money, if you like, because I pay my subscription for a reason. Like, I bought all the Marvel movies
compression. I hate compression.
Plus. I don't hate it that much.
Call me what you will. I can't stand it. Anyways.
It's still better than the TV we were watching 5 years ago. I mean, look at it that way.
I guess, kind of wrap up the day. I wanted to take a look at something that neither one of us will be able to do without winning a lottery or getting hit by like an Amazon driver or something.
My wife would never go to this, so if I win the lottery, I'll take you and Mike.
There you go.
A Cantina 2D there. If I win the lottery.
I just made a joke, and we're talking about the Galactic Starcruiser, everyone. I made a joke, getting hit by an Amazon driver. And I know tort and lawsuits are way different in the UK. If you got hit by a big business driver, do they settle that stuff pretty quickly to not go to court? Can you even go to court? You don't know? Okay. Anyways, that's like the American dream, man, to sue someone into oblivion.
The famous shrug from In Bruges.
I don't mean like regular Joe's.
I've never been hit by a car in my life, so you know.
Jeez. Henny, I don't suggest car accidents. They do suck.
I mean, I've been in some minor bumps.
Yeah,
but I've never been.
I'd rather get hit by like some big no name business that can just shell out money than a human that made a mistake. You know,
I guess
even though the drivers,
you'll probably just hit an average human though, because there's more of them in the road.
Yeah, all right. So Cam, I'm gonna go ahead and share the screen with you. So if you want to make a face, or if you don't, I don't care. But it's sharing right now. There you go. So I've got Gizmodo's review of the Galactic Starcruiser Hotel, which I'll say this, Cam, I despise the name being used in the new version of the courtship of Princess Leia. They're using the Halcyon or Halcyon, however you want to pronounce it.
That's a bit of
Oh my God.
I think I could have done without, you know. I mean, don't get me wrong, I never even liked the original the courtship of Princess Leia. That was a pretty shit book, if you ask me.
It's not great, but it makes more sense than them going on a cruise. Like Han Solo's gonna go on a cruise instead of jet set on the Falcon with him and Leia by themselves. You know, no, it doesn't. That's like you
sense. Saying, "You're right, we'll get married, Christine," and Christine's like, "Where are we going on honeymoon, Kel?" And you say, "Hey, we're just going to get my dad's old car and we're going to go cruising about." And she's like, "Oh, that sounds really good, Kel, but I was kind of hoping to spend a week on the beach in France or Spain or Hawaii or something like that." Nah, we're just getting the old car out and going cruising to some casinos. You know, so I guess from Leia's point of view, she might not want to just jam about in the Millennium Falcon, especially when like they're trying to get the nasty on and Chewie's like there, because like he has to go as well.
I know, but there's berths and places that they could have some privacy.
I know, they could just have went to a party planet and
she was exactly. She's not a cruise type person either, and I have the feeling that we might even see, hopefully one day, an active spy rebel agent in Leia. I don't know if we ever will, but I that's the type of person I see her as. Not, oh, let's go on a cruise, but anyways.
And she's got to take a day off sometime.
Well, yeah, but their day off is still like doing Han and Leia things, or Leia things, not go on a cruise. I don't know, it's weird, but the Galactic Starcruisers had a tumultuous opening between delays from coronavirus to awful PR videos. They've released like 3. 2 of them were just utterly bombed into oblivion on the internet, even and getting turned off.
I mean, they disappeared very quickly. And replacements appeared not too long afterwards either. And the replacement was better. It wasn't quite as much of a cheese fest as the original. But still, I think a lot of fans looking at it, the general feeling I'm getting is people are going, £6,000 for that.
Yep. And
you've seen the recent video of the singer, the Twilight singer, and just the general milling around the bar, and it doesn't look. It just looks like a theme bar or something. To me, it doesn't. You know, it doesn't strike me.
You start worrying, is there enough?
Worth.
Yeah, exactly. So, Gizmodo. I didn't catch the writer's name. Joel Cunningham. Wrote about this. It's the one that I've got up on the screen now, and he talks about the live action role playing experience. Admits to himself and to the audience that he would have never paid the money for a family, but since he got to do it for free, he did it.
Take that off you in a second.
Yeah. So he goes.
Just note to people at Disney, you know, if you want more positive reviews of this, Kyle and I are free.
Yeah, there you go. He says, since few others are likely to be so lucky to visit when the hotel opens to the public from next week, barring some sort of Make-A-Wish level tragedy, I'm here to tell you all about it and help you decide whether it's worth the money. The short answer, no. But it is incredibly cool. I looked through these. I'm not going to read them all, but he goes on to a few points about how everything is very like structured. We'd seen like things about schedules and
we've seen like
whatnot.
Early itineraries, haven't we? That
right.
Were apparently not fact, but there were examples, if you
examples
like, mission
and
things. But yeah,
he goes on to talk
you've got
about
a 2-day experience planned out for you.
Right. Talks about the cool things of like, getting interrupted by First Order, by things dealing with a lot of time spent on your phone for the augmented reality aspect of things. If you have a no phone, and this is a quote from him, sorry if you have a no phones rule for your kids, because they'll be getting their own too. They're going to need the app and things to do things. So he goes, if your kids are anything like mine, you will unironically yell something like, that's it, no more data pads at them before the voyage ends. Goes, do you have to be a massive Star Wars geek to enjoy the Starcruiser? You'll get more out of it if you are, but you don't necessarily have to be. We know that they pared down a lot of the promised experiences, including like the lightsaber interactions and things like that. Like this is another quote from him. Like the Disney era Star Wars films themselves, everything on board the Starcruiser is perhaps a little too bright and shiny. That's a complaint we had about the prequel trilogy, but I reminded people that, hey, that's the peak of the, at the fall of the Republic.
It's supposed to be.
It would all look nice and
so
new.
it should look a bit.
Exactly.
Would you really want to pay all that money and it looks like a dive, like something like the Cantina? No. Some people would. It might feel more authentic.
He goes, if you can conquer your internal critic, a true challenge for me, an asshole. That's cool. I can appreciate that. I'm an asshole, but not 100% a dick. You will almost definitely be swept up in the experience, because that's what Disney has designed it to do. And that's all I'm going to read from his, because I want you guys to go and look at it. I gave a couple positives, a couple of negatives, and he gave you his short answer. I'm going to share a couple photos from others that were on Twitter. Everything looks cool. The set production looks great. Here's a stateroom. I'm digging the
looks kind of
the aesthetic.
Star Warsy, but
even Alien-ish, or not? Was it Alien or Space Odyssey that also had this type of paneling as well?
Here's my kind of issue with this, though, is that I'm not seeing where the cost goes, because you build this and you say, right, you need to get your money back for it. But
I can go do this.
It's built, right?
Yeah, I could do this like so holo table thing.
I don't get where there's £6,000 worth in this. That's
this
my issue with it.
This lightsaber. that god awful lightsaber.
How much did these things cost to make?
I don't know. We're not even allowed to play with them. The Verge, I think that was who I had up. Gartenberg. The Verge has some additional photos on their actual website from the person that went and visited. I can't describe how much I want to see this. I don't ever want to pay for it, because honestly, this looks more like line queue setting and restaurant settings in the park. It looks like it looks like a good time, but like you said, not $6,000. And also, like Mike said, and the costumes are great. I mean, this poor Rodian's mouth isn't gonna move anywhere as much as it should, and you have to start wondering, like, as people get tired, makeup artists and whatnot get tired, like when will like the aesthetics start taking a drop? But if you guys are doing this and you're not offering this one's from CNET, and you're not offering people special things inside the park itself, like before hours or after hours, so you can ride things without massive crowds.
These kind of things, because you're staying over anyway.
Yeah, what else goes into it?
they can't do that because or somebody's made the decision that they're going to keep you in there and in that experience for the full 24 hours, you know.
Yeah. So everyone
am I going
to
be bored? Like, you know, there comes a certain time, even when you're at a Disney park, not that I've ever been at one, so I'm just going to guess, where you just want to go home at night and put the TV on, you know. And there doesn't seem really much room for any of that. And, you know, the Star Wars experience, I kind of wish they would squish it all into a shorter time scale, and then just let you kind of wander about and enjoy some cool sights and stuff like that. But not that much.
I'll give CNET a lot of credit. Theirs is very, very in depth. It goes over, you know, what if there's a medical emergency, what can you leave? They go over music. They also talk about being on your phone quite a bit and needing the app. She doesn't seem to give a straight up, you know, is it worth it? It really looks like they just are breaking this down. So I would suggest if you guys can, just looking at it, read through CNET, read through, what is her name? Bridget Carey's review. She seemed to go into a lot of detail. There's videos, there's pictures, there's all sorts of stuff up now. And yeah, I would love to see it, Disney. I don't want to experience it overnight. I just want to see the bits and pieces and then go about my business.
It'll all be online eventually anyway.
Yeah. Here's my thought on you know what. And I brought this up to Mike a while ago, and he was like, "Yeah, Disney won't do it," and I'm pretty sure he's right. But it should become a walkthrough at some point for either an extra cost, or there's going to be a time where you're going to want to sell things, sell experiences, sell a sabak, I guess is how they pronounce it. I always said sabak, but whatever. You know, selling times. I don't know if there's enough people these days, and especially with a lot of the economic things coming up in the future, you know, shit going on all over the world for real. But I don't know, man. A lot of this really feels like it should be, there's the hotel experience, but it feels like they're leaving money on the table by not having parts of this experience open to regular guests. Not all of it, not even the best parts, but certain things, the bars, the games, some of the shows, the lightsaber stuff. I mean, I don't know. Part of it also is the crowd size, and no matter what the cost is, there's going to be a lot of people there. It's going to be busy, but are you going to be able to make enough? Are you going to be able to make
it seems like lower numbers, higher cost is the way they're going for it, whereas Disney's usual approach is to try and keep the cost as low as possible and get as many people through the door as they can. You know, it's there for everyone. Kind of feels like this is an exclusive thing that they're doing. Yeah, and it's a lot of money.
It is, and I am a greedy capitalist pig. I'm damn near laissez-faire. I completely am fine with Disney being like, we're making a rich person's thing. But I also am a fan, and I get the fans' point of view where it's like, well, fuck, I love Star Wars too, and I'm not a rich person, and that's where Galaxy's Edge itself comes into play.
I mean, you can apply that to anything.
Well,
I mean,
you can apply that to anything.
I'm a Ferrari fan, but you know, why don't they make Ferraris that I can buy?
Why can't you get a Ferrari
for
exactly?
$20?
So I get both sides of the argument, and when it comes to me personally, I just try to look at what makes the best business sense, and I think the exclusivity right now makes good business sense.
Yeah, but
you want the rich
forever.
Yeah, you want the rich people that can't afford to pay as much as they can now, so you can make some money off of it. But I do. I think it'd be good to see it open up in the future and let more every day, as Death Clock from Metalocalypse would say, us regular jackoffs can go and enjoy it. So yeah, man, this episode went way longer than I expected it to. Yeah, you know, we actually had quite a bit talk about. Anything else you wanted to say, Cam, before I do the housekeeping and all that? Cool, guys.
Yeah.
Check out the GenreVerse Podcast Network, wherever you get your podcasts from. We're on Google, Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher, all of that good stuff. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Great shows like Breaking Geek Radio and Animeversal. We're doing a new ranking show. It's probably going to be every other week because it took me like 8 hours to put it together, writing, editing, all of that. But you can check out the ranking the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, top 5 versions of them on ranking the GenreVerse. Subscribe, hit the red button, all that good stuff, and of course make sure you're visiting LRM online every day for all of your entertainment news needs, opinions, the celebrity interviews, the podcast. They're all available right there. I'm at that Kyle Malone on Twitter. We've got everyone else's information down below, but Cam, what do you want to say or plug or whatnot?
Contact me on Twitter at LRM_Cam if you ever want to reach out to us, anything Cantina related, to do with writing stories on LRM.com. If anyone out there actually fancies, learning how to write stories or write opinion pieces as well, we regularly kind of put things up where we're looking for volunteers to come. So come and join the team as well. I mean, there's always that opportunity for people. But yeah, just letting us know what you want to see, what you don't want to see as well is all we're really looking for.
Yep, that's right. So thank you guys so much for listening this week, and we hope to see you next time on the Cantina. May the Force be with you.